Hello, my friends. Happy Monday. I'm so stoked to be here with you today. And you guys, I just finished listening to a team call with like coaches and stuff. And it was like a little seed was planted in my head of like, maybe I don't need to do this nutrition bootcamp call anymore. And then I like thought about it for 0.222 seconds and was like, no, I'm still going to do it because I freaking love it. And you guys bring me so much joy. And I love having this opportunity to chat with you. I know that the majority of the people who get on live are my consistent slayers. They're honestly, if I'm just being completely blunt, they're either my coaches or my preferred customers, aka the people who are showing up regularly and the people who are ordering consistently, the people who are working out regularly. And I want to serve you. And maybe you're not able to get on live because you work full time, or Mondays are just a really rough day with mom life, or whatever that is. And I just want to honor you for one, if you're here live, like for making the time and in your busy Monday to be here. And if you're watching the recording, whenever you're watching this recording, like I just want to honor you for showing up for you, right? Because this is totally one of those like extra credit things that you could totally like, I don't need that, right? But the more you dive into feeding your positive beast, because you got those two beasts in your head, right? Like the negative one and the positive one. The more you lean into feeding that positive beast, the more that positive beast is going to win in your head, right? So I'm clapping for you that you're here, and I'm clapping for us that we're here together, right? And I really, really genuinely mean it when I love you, like when I say that I love you, because I really do from the bottom of my heart, okay? So with that said, that kind of fits right in with what I wanted to share with you today. So you may have heard this before, but we actually chatted about this in church yesterday. And I promise I'm not going to get all churchy on you, because I assume most of you who are on here are probably religious like me, because your vibe attracts your tribe, right? But just in case you're not, I don't want to offend. I got myself some Energize and it is leaking all over my table. It's fine. We're fine. It's good. So thankfully it's just a really cheap, like $10 card table from Walmart, so I'm not really that worried about it, but that's a story for a different day. But in this talk from, his name is Gary E. Stevenson. It was a devotional type talk. Okay. So I'm just going to read it because he'll say it a lot more concisely than Bryn trying to like paraphrase, right? In the 1970s, researchers set up an experiment to examine the effects of diet on heart health. Over several months, they fed a control group of rabbits a high-fat diet and monitored their blood pressure, heart rate, and cholesterol. As expected, many of the rabbits showed a buildup of fatty deposits on the inside of their arteries. Yet this was not all. Researchers had discovered something that made little sense. Although all of the rabbits had a buildup, one group surprisingly had as much as 60% less than the others. It appeared as though they were looking at two different groups of rabbits. To scientists, results like this can cause lost sleep. How could this be? The rabbits were all the same breed from New Zealand, from a virtually identical gene pool. They each received equal amounts of the same food. What could this mean? Did the results invalidate the study? Were there flaws in the experiment design? The scientists struggled to understand this unexpected outcome. Eventually, they turned their attention to the research staff. Was it possible that researchers had done something to influence the results? As they pursued this, they discovered that every rabbit with fewer fatty deposits had been under the care of one researcher. She fed the rabbits the same food as everyone else, but as one scientist reported, she was an unusually kind and caring individual. When she fed the rabbits, she talked to them, cuddled, and petted them. She couldn't help it. It's just how she was. She did more than simply give the rabbits food. She gave them love. At first glance, it seemed unlikely that this could be the reason for the dramatic difference, but the research team could see no other possibility. So they repeated the experiment, this time tightly controlling for every other variable. When they analyzed results, the same thing happened. The rabbits under the care of the loving researcher had significantly higher health outcomes. Okay, so we went on in church yesterday to talk about like loving one another and like what amazing things can happen when you're like loving one another and having unity and all the things, right? But I had like a little light bulb moment with my like health coach, identity, that I was like, oh my gosh, that totally makes sense in the like health and fitness and nutrition world too. And I'll get there. I'll get there in 2.5 seconds. Okay. So my aha moment was Bryn used to be the person who like, you know what? It was a crappy day. I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get myself some Flamin' Hot Cheetos because I deserve them. And I'm going to eat the whole freaking huge, gymongous bag because I deserve them. Right? To fast forward to 2 days ago, we went on a hike with some coach friends. And on the drive up on Friday night, we stopped at a gas station and your girl, Bryn, bought herself a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos because I love them. They are my nemesis. Okay. But the difference was, for one thing, I bought a small bag. And for a second reason, it wasn't because I hated myself. It wasn't because I had had a hard day. It was because I really like these and I really like myself. So sometimes I like to give myself stuff that I really like, right? And I just had this aha moment of that's exactly what Alana and Autumn are talking about when they say in To Be Mindset and Ultimate Portion Fix that you're 100% allowed to have treats, right? You're just supposed to have them in moderation and you know, do it out of love and not out of hatred for yourself, right? That I was like, this makes sense. So I can still have those things that are naughty, quote unquote, but if I'm doing it with the right motive and I'm doing it because I love myself and not because it's been a really long and hard day, or you know what, I already look terrible anyways, so I'm just going to eat it because what's the big deal? It's not going to make a difference anyways, right? But instead I'm eating the same Flamin' Hot Cheetos as everybody else who loves Flamin' Hot Cheetos, but I'm not doing it out of hatred. I'm doing it out of love, right? So therefore, I don't feel that cycle. If you're familiar with binge eating, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't feel that cycle of, well, crap, I just ate a whole small bag of Flaming Hot Cheetos. So now I might as well have 17 cookies and some ice cream and whatever. I'll just start over tomorrow. And while I'm at it, I'll just eat some gummy worms and some gummy bears. And then I'll go make myself a sandwich and I'll have some cereal, even though I'm really not hungry at all. At this point, I'm literally just gorging myself because I messed up today and whatever, right? Hopefully no one else knows what that feels like, but I know what that feels like. Okay. And it's not fun. And that was the downward spiral that I would go in when I gave in to those cravings out of hatred for myself. Hopefully this is making sense. Okay. Because it was a huge light bulb moment for me. Okay. So I think that's exactly what Alana and Autumn are talking about, that you absolutely, girlfriend, like you enjoy those Flamin' Hot Cheetos, those oatmeal cream pies that have absolutely no nutrition value, right? The really crappy ramen that costs 18 cents from Walmart or whatever, like whatever it is that you're like, that is my guilty pleasure. I love it. And sometimes I just want it, right? Allow yourself to have it. But if you're doing it with that, like that rabbit study, with that unusual kindness towards yourself, it is literally scientifically proven that you can eat the exact same fatty crap and have 60% less buildup. Will you still have a little bit of buildup? Like, is my heart compared to a Mwala's heart who hasn't even had fried chicken in X amount of years? Is our, anatomy scans going to be a little different? Yeah, because your girl Bryn loves me some Chick-fil-A. Okay. But if I do it out of love instead of hatred, can I have that 60% less buildup, right? Than the person who's eating Chick-fil-A because it was a hard day and I just don't even want to cook. And sometimes that's love too. But like, it was a hard day and I don't even want to cook and I love myself. So I'm going to give myself a break, right? That can also be self-love, or it can be that, whatever, screw my goals. I don't even care. I don't care about my budget. I don't care that this doesn't make sense at all. I'm going to go and I'm just going to eat all the Chick-fil-A, right? Like there's a very different mindset switch, right? And it's subtle. It's so subtle, but it's huge. Okay. I want to read the chat real quick before I move on. Carolyn said, I'm in with the young children in our church, so I missed this lesson. My daughter got to participate in it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Jeanette said, I relate. Hot Cheetos and Skittles are my downward spiral. Yes. Mandy said, To Be Mindset has been life-changing for me. I love it. My habits before were leading me down a bad path. Yes. And Carolyn said, gluten-free Oreos for me. To Be Mindset changed my relationship with food. And honestly, I can just, amen. That's not to say, like, if you're one of those people who follows Ultimate Portion Fix, or maybe you're new here and you're like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about. You have access to nutrition videos. When you go to Beachbody On Demand, there's this spot that says Nutrition Center, and there's videos that say To Be Mindset, Ultimate Portion Fix. And then I think there's just Portion Fix. Now, I haven't watched those ones yet, but it is literally like, if I could just lovingly grab your face and shake it, watch the freaking videos, okay? And I know, I've heard some of my coaches say, Bryn always said that, and I just like in one ear and out the other. But then I finally started to watch them and was like, I should have listened earlier. Listen, watch the videos, okay? Sometimes I genuinely get a little bit mad at Beachbody for giving them away for free with challenge packs, because your girl Bryn had to pay $240 freaking dollars for those bad boys, okay? 120 each nutrition program, and y'all get it for free now with the workouts. I'm not mad at all, but I think sometimes it makes you not appreciate the value that is there, because you didn't have to pay for it, right? You didn't have to pay extra to have that education. I'm slapping you, okay? Watch the effing videos. Bryn is getting seriously passionate about this, because nutrition is the game changer. Nutrition is the game changer. You can work out a million times and not change a gosh dang thing about your nutrition, and absolutely nothing will change. And all the things, the mindset that I'm talking about, that has come from the nutrition videos. That did not come because, oh, I drank Shakeology today, and all of a sudden my brain is nicer to me. No, Shakeology doesn't do that, okay? Energize doesn't do that. Recover doesn't do that. Beachbody On Demand workouts don't do that. I mean, there are some workouts that you're like, okay, Elise Joan, okay, yeah, she makes me feel very differently about myself. My boy Amala makes me think very differently about myself, and like my body as a machine, and I'm an athlete and I'm fierce, right? My boy Shanti, it's like personal development in a workout, right? But that food mindset comes from the videos. And you guys, I legit feel like I have a mini degree in nutrition because of the Ultimate Portion Fix videos and the To Be Mindset videos. So if you struggle with food, if you go on vacation and your results go down the tubes, if you hate the scale and you're afraid of it and you haven't jumped on it in a million years because you're terrified of that, that means, whether you want to admit to yourself or not, you are putting your worth on a number. And so many people are like, I'm not going to get on the scale because they have all sorts of verbiage, but what they're really saying without realizing they're saying it is that their weight determines their worth. That is not accurate. Okay. The scale is just a form of measurement to teach you something. Okay. That's it. It's just like if I bust out 20 push-ups and I realize on number 3, holy crap, I can't do 20, right? It's a form of measurement. It's just one way. And there's so many other ways to track your progress, right? But you got to watch those freaking videos and pick what you can watch both. That's the amazing part. You have both. So you can pick which one works the best for you. Okay. Stephanie said, I bought To Be 1 month before it launched as a whole pack. I feel you, girl. Oh my gosh. You're just, I'm sorry, but you understand how valuable it is because you paid full price for it, right? So this is not like Bryn saying, if you don't do To Be Mindset, we cannot be friends, right? I did Ultimate Portion Fix for 3 years, and I have a very, very, very solid base of knowledge because I followed Ultimate Portion Fix. I know what my portion sizes should look like. I know how much protein I need to feel my best. I know how many carbohydrates I need to feel my best. I know what a serving size of vegetables looks like. I am very thankful for Ultimate Portion Fix and what it taught me. And now I've entered a phase of life where I don't want you to tell me what to do. I want to eat Flamin' Hot Cheetos when I want to, right? And you can do that on Ultimate Portion Fix as well. I mean, I don't know that Autumn would say that, but Ultimate Portion Fix, according to Bryn, it's a treat swap, right? It's a yellow container. Just have one serving of Flamin' Hot Cheetos and call it a carb for the week. And I don't know if Autumn would agree, but that's how I followed Ultimate Portion Fix for 3 years, right? So that was a random tangent, but watch them. And if it's been a minute, watch them again. Because right now, as part of my Power 30 accountability group, I'm watching one every single day. And I'm like, oh, I mean, it's just like anything, right? Like, cool. You read the Bible one time. Can you like recite the whole Bible just because you read it one time? Oh, you can't? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your memory? Right? No, like no one can remember stuff that quickly, right? And sure, you read the Bible once, but what about if you go back and read it again? Is there going to be different stuff that stands out to you this time? Is something going to hit you differently because you're in a different phase of life? It's absolutely that, right? And you have these nutrition videos forever. So go watch them and watch them again and watch them again and watch them again and watch them again. And every time you go on vacation, watch the vacation one again and get a new idea. And every time you're about to go to a Super Bowl party, go watch that video, right? Anytime you're about to go to the grocery store, go watch those videos and figure out what it is that you're going to, I mean, not every time. You don't have to do that every time. That's a long video, but you know what I mean. Okay. Utilize them, utilize them, utilize them. Okay. And give yourself that love when you are treating yourself. Okay. On that same line, but kind of switching gears a little bit, there we have a mindset coach. For those of us who are coaches in the Beachbody world on my team, we have a mindset coach and his name is Brad Bizjack. And one of the quotes that he just all the time says all the time, when you can trade your expectations for appreciations, your life will change in an instant. And he's not the one who said that. I'm pretty sure it was Brennan Burchard who said that first. But when you can change your expectations for appreciation, your life can change in an instant, right? And he's related that to so many things, like your relationships with your kids, right? If you're expecting them to clean up and they don't, versus, wow, they actually cleaned up after themselves and I'm so grateful, right? Like how different is that relationship? And with your marriage, expectations versus appreciations, with your siblings, with your parents, with your next door neighbor, right? Like, but I was listening to a podcast episode from Micah Folsom. You've probably heard me talk about her before. And she talked about it with your own journey. And it got my wheels turning that I was like, that is 100% what happened with my postpartum journey. Because with my first, I had no expectations. I'd never had a baby before. I had never lost weight after a baby before. So I had no expectations of myself. And I was just like, I'm just going to see, like, I'm just going to do this thing. I'm just going to like follow Beachbody workouts and I'm just going to like do the containers and I'm just going to see, like, I don't know. And it was crazy how like I melted and I had never looked so good and it happened so fast. Okay. Then baby number 2 happened. And guess what? I had expectations for myself, right? Last time, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Last time, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. By this time, last time, right? And it turned into this like frantic, like, oh my gosh, why do I suck so bad, right? And guess what? Your girl Bryn, postpartum journey number 2, never got down to her pre-pregnancy weight. Not that that's like the be all end all, right? But I think we all probably have that in common, that that's a goal that we share, right? That would be freaking epic. But by the time I got pregnant with Ellie, I hadn't achieved that. And I was pretty bummed with myself. Okay. So then when I was pregnant with my third, I had this aha moment of, okay, yes, I have had a child before, 2 children actually. I lost 45 pounds after my first. I lost 39 pounds after my second, and I gained 45 pounds every time in my past. Baby number 4, that's going to look a little different, but that's beside the point. Gained 45 pounds, lost 45 pounds with my son. Gained 45 pounds, lost 39 pounds with my daughter. Okay. Gained 45 pounds with my second daughter, And I had this moment when I was like 40 weeks about to give birth that was like, okay, I know I can do it because I've done it twice, but I'm not going to expect anything of myself this time. I'm not going to give myself a timeline because yes, I've been on a postpartum journey before, but I've never been 29 years old on my postpartum journey before. I've never had 3 kids on my postpartum journey before. I've never experienced 2020 in my postpartum journey before, right? So I can't even compare myself to myself in my weight loss journey because I'm older, because life looks different, because my situation has changed, right? So I'm just going to give myself all the grace and just, you know what? I know what to do. I'm going to do it. And then whatever happens, I'm just going to be so thankful for my amazing body and the gift that it is, right? And I know I've shared this before, but just in case you need to hear it again, I'm going to say it again. I literally remember being like 2 weeks postpartum and I was still rocking my pregnancy post whatever pants because I couldn't fit in my normal ones, like not even close. They wouldn't even get up like my hamstring and my quad. Okay. And I remember looking in the mirror though, in my postpartum jeans and like, girlfriend, you look so dang good. Did you seriously just give birth to your 3rd kid? Okay. And now I look back at pictures from this time then, and I'm like, I look so different. I have lost so much weight. But in that moment, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I need to lose so much weight. Like I literally remember looking at my body and being so proud of myself and so proud that I just gave birth to my 3rd kid in 3.5 years and so amazed at the way my stomach was already flattening out. Right. And so grateful that I was able to nurse her and whatever. Right. And it is 100% that I turned my expectations into appreciation. And guess what happened to my journey? I was back at my pre-pregnancy weight 7 months postpartum with my 3rd kid as an almost 30-year-old. It went faster, I'm pretty sure, than my first time. And I am 100% positive that it was because of Elise Joan and the postnatal barb blend program. I know I've talked about that before, but if you're postnatal and you haven't done that program yet, repent and go do it now. Because even if you just do it once a week, you need her telling you how amazing you are as a mom. And like 100% real. She and the positive things she told my brain and my mom bod, and being a part of that postnatal test group was 100% what inspired my journey to be as successful as it was and inspired my podcast. My intro is a lot of the things that she would say to me in that program. And I wanted everyone to hear it. Right. So yes, Stephanie, I did say repent and go do it. It's fine. Go do the postnatal barb blend program though, really. Because if you're a mom, even if your baby's like 30 years old, like you need her telling you what an amazing mother you are, like, and how amazing your mom bod is. Because I know that sometimes it's so easy to look at all the people on social media and whatever, and like they have no stretch marks and they like whatever, lovely, all the things, right? And your girl Bryn looks at her stomach and like, I don't really have a belly button anymore. It's more of like a line because I've got some like stretchy skin and I love it. I genuinely love it because it brought me 3 beautiful children whom I adore. Right. So, but I know that that is not how I felt after Elila, especially. Like it was more of that like resentment, like meh, my body is gross. Right. So change that expectations for appreciation and your life will change in an instant. Okay. Again, one more thing, and then we'll wrap it up. I've gained 5 pounds since my dad died, about a month and a half ago. Okay. And it would be really, I'm not going to lie, I am human. Like there are moments when I'm like, Bryn, you suck. Clean it up, man. Like, why did you buy Flamin' Hot Cheetos at the gas station? You should have bought a salad kit and some broccoli, right? Like there are moments that I have those like in my head. And then there are other moments where I'm like, I just hiked a 13,000 elevation thing, and it was quite fun. I mean, there were moments of like, I am literally freezing and this kind of sucks so much. But as far as like my body goes and like the upwardness, I was all right. I was totally fine. You know what I mean? There was like mentally, I was like, it's cold. I just want to go take a bath. But as far as like my body, my joints, I was like, no, like I am strong. I can totally do this. But wait, I gained 5 pounds in the last month and a half, right? And honestly, Amal been kicking my butt lately. Who knows? Maybe that's all muscle. I don't know, because my clothes still fit the same. So, and there was a moment last week where I was like wearing the shirt and I was like, is that my arms? Oh my gosh. And then I was like seeing like definition up in there. Like that's never happened before, but I'm up 5 pounds, right? So again, just what are you focused on? Are you eating the Flaming Hot Cheetos because it was a bad day and you deserve them? Or are you eating the Flaming Hot Cheetos because it was a bad day and you deserve them? Right? Just that little, and I'm just gonna, whatever. Anything goes because it was a crappy day versus it was a bad day. I'm gonna allow myself this treat and I'm gonna enjoy every bite. Right? Are you appreciating your amazing body and all the things that it's done for you, no matter what phase you're in? Are you focusing on the 5 pounds that you've gained since your dad died? Or are you focusing on the fact that you just went on an amazingly hard hike and that your biceps are starting to pop and that you're freaking strong and you did a pull-up, chin up technically, at Laura's house? That was rad. So you know what I mean? Like there's just so many little things that we could focus on, the negative, or we can just flip that and appreciate the positive, right? Okay, there's a couple things in the chat and then I'll wrap it up. Kylie said, absolutely love that program. Changed this last pregnancy so much. Yes, I seriously recommend it. Laura said, heck yeah, we did. It was me and Laura and Stephanie and Paige Leverage. I don't know that she's ever come on here. And then my girl, Jessie White. But yeah. And then Ashley said, changing the intonation makes a huge difference. Yes. And it really is just like, what is the inspiration? Am I doing it out of love or self-hatred, right? Laura said that it's totally 5 pounds of arm muscle. Yeah, with my chin-ups, right? It's fine. We're fine. I was very excited about it. It was literally one of those moments where she had like a pull-up bar in her basement. And I was like, I'm just going to try. It's been a life goal, you guys, forever. And I did it. And I like looked at them and I was like, did you guys see that? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, did I jump? Like, because it was actually quite easy. And they were like, I don't think so. I was like, I'm going to try it again. And I totally did it 2 more times. It was amazing. And I did it at my house too, which it was harder because it's dangling from a very high spot instead of like being on the ground. But I did it again at my house. So anyways, celebrate those wins, appreciate your body because it really is truly amazing. Okay. So I love you. If you're on live, stay on live. We'll chat for a sec. If you're on the recording, bye. I'll see you next week.